So I'm sitting here in my basement working on photos and just looking back at some of the things that, I shot all year and really being, happy and proud about, just the things I've been doing. And when I start to reflect, I start to think about what was the most important thing that you've done in photography this past year. And if I had to think about it specifically, I would have to say it's been all about prints. I've printed more this year than I probably ever have. I've printed 4x6. I've gotten instant film cameras. I've got Instax printers. So I've really expanded that. And then also recently I got a digital photo frame. And even some of my TVs, they've had apps to them where I can actually put files onto them as a screensaver, or what they call the always ready screen on LG. And so I was able to display like 16 photos, and we have 3 TVs throughout the house, and they all have that feature. And so I've been controlling each one to have a certain, set of photos on them when the screen is kind of sleeping. When you put it into, in a sleep mode, it will do that. So yeah, printing and really displaying work. That's been really, the main thing I've been working on. And that happened a lot because we moved. We moved into a new house. So I'm in a new basement. So if you watch some of my old videos, this is the new basement. And so that's what a lot of it is driven by. Is like now we had to redecorate. We had to put new photos up throughout the house, and that kind of changed the environment and just gave me a new space to work. So I'm at a new desk and got things set up differently. So yeah, printing has been the number one thing for me. I've been doing, if you watch the last few videos, I've been talking a lot about, instant film and instant print. So, I got 2 lithography cameras. One is a mini, one is a wide. I already had a wide Instax printer, but then I also got a mini. And what I thought I wasn't going to get is a square. I got the square Instax printer. So, I've been printing on that and really enjoying it. And I think seeing your work in different mediums has given me a better appreciation for the different cameras that I've used for a long time. Because although I've only had a lot of this stuff printed within the last year or a few months, I've printed a lot of older photos taken with cameras I no longer own, and really start to see them as valuable pieces, even more valuable at the time than I actually did when I owned it. And that's the thing, we can take for granted that this camera has this sensor or this amount of megapixels and this and that, but when you really comb through the photos, it's more about the photo, the shot, the output than it was the input. It was about the fact that I was there and able to capture something that can't be reproduced, or the angle that I shot it at, or even the way that I processed the photo in post. So all those things have to be considered when you think about your camera and what it actually can do. So I think last year, what was significant for me then was I was using a lot of small sensor cameras. So like this year has been about photos and printing. Last year was about using small sensor cameras and really, going down that digicam route and really pushing those mediums, those smaller sensors to the maximum. And, I had a lot of good ones. I had the Fuji X30, I had the Panasonic LX7, the Ricoh GRD4, not the GR, the GRD, the smaller sensor ones, and the Fuji XQ1. So I had a lot of cool small sensor cameras that all had some great features, good lenses, fast apertures, something about it. Another one was the Samsung EX2F. I even had a little Canon SD700 IS, little small, silver camera. It was just cool just to carry and just get those candid snaps out of nowhere. I just like having a camera. Like, my phone is always with me, and that's cool. And I do use my phone for photography. I mean, in terms of family snapshots and moments, your phone is there. If you're a photographer, you're gonna use it just because you want to capture. You want to capture a moment. Can't do that, you don't capture it. But I still like to have a dedicated camera, no matter what, sensor size, etc. I think it will always do much better than your phone, because your phone is full of distractions. You got social media, you got the internet, YouTube, you got, it's actually a phone. People are going to call you. So while you're using it, it could get a phone call. And ergonomically, it doesn't handle well. It's just very slim and flat. So I still like a camera, but I digress. This is not the point of this video. The point is photos. So another thing that I've done is, you can't see it, but I actually have a Canon CP1500. Actually, you know what? This thing moves, right? I can move this. So yeah, right there, Canon CP1500. That's my desktop printer. I leave it there when I want to print a 4x6 to put in our family albums upstairs. We have a nice bookcase where we just have albums. Just 4x6 is the main medium. We have some larger ones too, but it's easier to print a 4x6, especially when you got one in your house. I think bigger 8x10s, usually we put them up on the wall. It's not something you usually create a book for. And I think 4x6 lends itself to being better, because you can fill a book with a lot more, photos. So the point is, I've been printing stuff and keeping them in this, like my personal portfolio. I think of it like I have my family photo library, and then I have photos from my personal work and some of my professional work. And I've just, some of the ones I really like, or that I think is very interesting, or has a certain style I want to display. And I keep them in this 4x6 book. So I just been printing that. And just every now and then when I have a photo, I can, that I really like, I just print it and I put it in there. Some from travel, some from photo jobs, some from just walks on the street, just lots of random stuff, just because I enjoy it. And I think I'm trying to get more into that more. It's just like I really have to enjoy photography more. Like, I do it for work. Like, I'm a semi-professional. I do make money with photography. But I also do it because I love it. And my motto is to document life. And a lot of these things are life, right? It's me going through life and just documenting it. And some moments stand out artistically. And I think I like to keep that in a book and just kind of keep this series going of just printing your work. Because I feel like we have all these mediums, like we have our phone, and it's good to have a digital copy, because most of those photos came from this phone, because I always try to keep kind of a library, a portfolio in my phone digitally. But I also want to physically see it. I want to see how it prints, because I'm looking at a thumbnail, I'm looking at a file, but I want to print it. I want to see when it's 4x6, how it looks. And then also I want to see it on the television, like, really big, image show up on my TV. And especially, like I said, with those smaller sensor cameras, and you start to realize, you know what, you can get a nice large photo if you're good at what you do, and you know photography, you know how to process and push things to the proper limits. You can see a photo that would seemingly be a small sensor, and they say you can't blow up past this. I'm seeing really big photos, even though they're digital. I'm seeing them on this really big screen, a 64-inch, flat screen TV, and all throughout the house. So don't discount what you have. That's the moral of the story. Use what you got, maximize what you got, print some stuff, enjoy it, fulfill it. Okay? That's all I got today. Just a rant. Enjoy. Peace.